Warning, the following is the officially sanctioned podcast
about the show about four lifelong friends
who compete to embarrass each other in public.
You know the one.
The official Impractical Jokers podcast.
Yeah! Oh, baby. Woo! Back. Thank God, Casey Just.
What a long break, James McCarthy.
Oh my God, I feel like in Hocus Pocus when that scarecrow man finally gets his mouth unzipped and all the dust flies out.
In what?
It's Hocus Pocus.
Know.
Oh yes. I just know that one song, the one that the three witches sing.
I put a spell on you.
Yeah.
You hear that? Well, for all our Bette Midler and IJ fans, we're back. And that reference is for you.
I think there's a Marilyn Manson version of that song. So that's the one I know.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
For our Marilyn Manson fans, that's Tina Santamoro.
Tina is back as well. And we actually have a very special guest,
Yeah.
a person that I find hysterically funny. She's been on the Impractical Jokers cruise. I'll start with that credit. The lovely Jessica Curson.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here.
What I like to do is to introduce the guest and then hit their credits.
Oh, that's fine. That's much more comfortable for me.
Yeah, you got HBO's Crashing, and Robert De Niro's The Comedian, The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, The View, Kevin Can Wait, and a regular contributor to Howard Stern Show.
Yep, and I'm performing in a restaurant tonight.
Hey!
Yeah,
amazing.
so things are going really well.
What kind of restaurant?
It's an Italian place, and they'll probably just be talking. But at least, like, I need to get paid a certain amount now to do it. I used to do it for nothing. I would just do it for like a chicken dinner.
Right.
But now I need to get paid well.
It's funny, other comedians want to hear about those gigs more than like the giant gigs.
Of
Like,
course.
If you play like Madison Square Garden, no one cares. If you're like, I played like this weird hole in the wall in Staten Island, people are like, whoa, what was the crowd like? Tell me everything.
Yeah, the stories are incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible. The worst one I ever did was a barn in New Jersey that is now a Holocaust museum. So there were
Oh, my
Holocaust artifacts there, and I had to perform, and it was a singles event. It was literally...
Wow.
That's not a joke. There were about 30 people there, and they were so miserable because it was a singles event.
Yeah.
And they gave out like wine and cheese. There were artifacts from the Holocaust, and it was a barn. On my children. This is a true story.
That is That is really hard.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, I had to one time do it was like a fire department benefit, and they had just all the men have like golfed all day long.
Yeah, I've done
and they
those
just
too.
sat down to eat, and they were like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Casey just," and I was like, "Oh God, here's
It's
like my
horrible.
weird alt jokes."
In like
front of
probably
this.
a bright room that's not really made for comedy.
They
But,
wouldn't
like,
have liked me on their like at the best time.
Yeah.
And then like this was like they you know I didn't
It's
have
horrible.
the goods. I didn't bring the
minute
goods.
food goes down and you have to start doing comedy, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Especially for my people, the Jews or Italians. If you put food down, no one is going to listen to one word you say.
An ad Holocaust museum, and it's
Yeah.
It's so
It
hard
was
to
What a
crowd.
mix of things.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that unbelievable?
Why
You can't
would
even,
they-
it sounds like I'm making it up, but it's really true.
It sounds like a Joker's punishment.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. It,
It
Sounds like
does.
you know,
it
it's like
really does.
we wouldn't be able to produce it.
yeah. What's the name?
That's
What's the name
very
of this
true.
place? We need to.
I don't know, but if you look it up, it's there. It's a literal. I never knew it existed, and I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And you also,
Me too.
with the Howard Stern Show, you produce and star in some of the prank calls.
Yeah, I've been doing prank calls for them for years.
Prank calls are the best.
It's my favorite thing to do. I did it on my podcast the other day to Chris DiStefano.
Plug your podcast.
Oh, great.
I have a podcast called Relatively Sane, where Sal did my podcast. I interviewed him.
Okay, everyone's going to listen to that first
Yes.
episode and
There it
then,
is.
Awesome.
and then get hooked.
Yeah,
That's a
it's
good entree
really,
to the
really
show.
good. I've
And
done.
Chris DiStefano is like the funniest guy in the world too.
He is so funny, but I was recording a podcast and my manager was like, let's prank Chris DiStefano like out of nowhere. So he answered and I was like,
Hi, Chris. I met you like weeks ago in LA, and I'm going to be in New York.
and he's like, I got him really into it.
Wow.
I'm like, where are you going to be? And he's like, well, what do you look like again? I'm like,
I'm so hot. I'm 5'8", in really good shape. I have dark hair.
and he's like, oh yeah, let's definitely.
Incredible.
It was amazing.
That's so funny. He's
amazing.
probably the easiest person to prank.
Oh, he's so gullible. And if it's a woman, forget it. Like if you say you're hot or, he's,
You just have to say you're hot, and that's it. And he buys in.
yeah, it
He's
doesn't
like, all
even
right.
matter.
This was a fantastic episode, and this challenge really just like shocked me with how funny it was. I was crying. I was screaming. You know, like when people like...
I have to tell you, I was too, and it takes me a lot to laugh like that. I was screaming, laughing.
Screaming. I mean,
it was really funny.
Was it the nut checks that made
The entire episode made me laugh.
That's great.
A lot of it. It was really great.
That's great to hear. The guys will always say anytime they could be one-on-one with a Mark in a room is like their favorite.
And Mark, I just go, we say Mark when it's like, you know that in the prank world, it's the person that's like in the situation. But we're explaining it for also the people at home who forget. It's been a while. So yeah, when in this they're right across from a person. And this is kind of like, it's not like an intimate detail, but when you're talking about like your dietary structure, you know, you get personal. So the stakes are high, is what I'm saying. And literally steak is something that might come up in nutrition. This is great. I mean, definitely not mark of the episode.
I enjoyed it. No, not the mark of the episode. I enjoyed it, though, because I got to say nut check.
That was you?
Oh,
that was me.
Was you? You knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the way that
curtain.
works is right before they shoot, you get a text from Gatto that says, record yourself saying nut check.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what? I didn't know whose voice it was.
I didn't either.
And when Gatto came in, I was like, oh, I guess it was his, but it didn't seem like his. But that was just to like
they
for
needed
fun.
it, and like we throw it on a press to play speaker, and then the guys are just hitting it from the back.
Beautiful.
I thought it was him when he walked in and said that, but I laughed so when you kept pressing it like nut check, nut check, nut check, nut check. It was so
incredible.
funny.
I actually was like, I kind of want that in my life. Sometimes the jokers come up with ideas that I'm like, oh, that would be useful.
Nut check.
Like if someone's just like,
You should have
if someone was just like sip of water, I would be like
You're
hydrated.
right.
I'd be more hydrated in my life.
it. Yeah.
Smile.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's positive.
Yeah.
See, now we're onto something.
A smile would be good.
I was smiling during Sal's bit, especially when food is stored in your breast.
Oh, that was so funny. I was dying. I loved that he turned like the word to intimacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's
That
nervous.
was really smart.
I mean,
know it was really smart though.
I agree.
He is
I agree.
very smart. He's always thinking about word choice and delivery, and it's a really like if you're watching this like as if it's like almost like a sport in a way. It's like the magic of watching like Sal play the game. It's like so fun. It's like really. It's like you're watching like LeBron James or something. He's the LeBron James of Impractical Jokers.
I mean,
he's just like watching him run the court and do his thing. It's fantastic.
You know, it's funny. My breakdown of that is that this was a right fit for him.
Yeah.
He is, for a guy who's like a heavier guy, he knows a lot about nutrition. Like, which makes it funny because like he and I have conversations. He knows what not to eat.
Right.
I think like in general, like I'm a former heavy person, and like I've always known my whole life what I shouldn't eat.
Yeah, me too.
and that's what makes it like even harder when you do take you eat like the bad stuff because you're like, I know this isn't the right thing to do.
And don't you love when someone's like, you know, you really should try it? And I'm like, like I went to fat camp for 4 years.
Right.
I've been in every diet you could possibly. I know everything there
I'm a
is to
sensei.
Yeah, I am. I know the calories in everything. I just choose not to eat it sometimes.
Yeah. Like I'm a complete psycho about food because like, you know, I was just like, I drilled it into my brain. You know what I mean? And Sal is like that. Him and I have these conversations. So when he gets behind the desk and starts talking about nutrition, I'm like, I believe it. He knows what he's talking about, even more so than some of the other guys. Like, you know, if it's talking about another thing, like maybe a timeshare, I don't know, some other thing, I'm like, I don't know if I really believe it. Like Murr can kind of BS his way through anything, but with nutrition, I was like, Sal knows what he's talking about. He's going through there.
Yeah,
he
was convincing.
Right,
he really was.
He had authority on the subject.
Absolutely.
I'm Tony Schiavone.
And I'm Aubrey Edwards, and we're the hosts of AEW Unrestricted, the official podcast of All Elite Wrestling. Join us each week as we go in-depth with the AEW team, from superstars of the ring to the brightest up-and-coming talent.
To the referees and broadcast team, we're talking to everyone. It's AEW Unrestricted, coming Thursday, February 20th. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts.
And then we get to what I think is one of the highlights of the show for me. Like this was this. I watched this like on a laptop because we watched like an earlier cut of some of this stuff, and I waited for the fine cut for this moment.
Right.
I watched it with headphones into my laptop, and I was like enthralled in this entire next sequence of events. Murr behind the couch. Then it leads to him getting out the door. Gatto being, I'm going in. It's going to be my turn. Towards he's bringing up the Buffalo nickel on his desk. Did you notice? I didn't notice this the first time. I had to go back. Sal dives onto the couch.
Yes.
In the background. You saw this?
I didn't notice that.
I always love what's going on in the background.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant
not the couch, in the room.
Right.
Yeah.
When Sal did that, I laughed out loud really hard. He did a body dive into the couch.
I didn't miss it the first time.
Didn't it move a little bit?
Yes, it did. Yes. I think it's, we've all had that experience where we laugh so hard that we have to physically move.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
It's insane. That was the overview, and now I want to dive into it like Sal did a couch. And so Murr is behind it all organically happens so beautifully, and that's like what's my favorite part of this show. Murr gets the command to have to stick behind the couch. Sal's like, you're there for 6 minutes. It gets deeper. He gets behind it. I gotta say that this guy is my mark of the episode. He might beat Grandma Deadpool, it was a reference to a woman from the beginning of this season who was my mark of the season. And this guy is phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
He's great.
He's crucial to the comedy. He's like the perfect straight man in that he's like, yeah, okay, I'll keep talking about this.
Yeah.
Keeps talking. And then when he is is he a white mother?
Oh my God.
Bald white mother.
What do you look like?
Bald guy. He's kind of skinny.
Bald guy, skinny.
Yeah. He got glasses on.
Bald guy, skinny, glasses.
Yeah.
Was he a white mother? Was he a white mother?
Yeah.
He laughed when he said that.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, committing to that kind of stuff physically, because I've done so many pranks and videos online and stuff, I'll have to say in my head, don't, just do it. It's okay. It's okay. I literally have conversations with myself while I'm doing those things.
You have to step into the pants of a sociopath.
Yeah, you do. I don't care. Yeah. This is for a laugh. I'm desperate. I need everyone to like me. So
it goes back to childhood.
Yeah. My mother wasn't around. But anyway, so when he had his knees and his butt in the air and I could not stop. That just takes such guts.
I know.
To do, and the guy was so patient. He was just.
It's so true. And this is another, like you're saying, the guys have an infinite amount of faith in each other, because in the room that Murray is in, there's no laughter. There is nothing else happening in that room. It is dead quiet. And you just have to trust your teammates in the back, basically, who are also against you, really, in our show. But that, they're laughing. And so it's they're laughing, so this must be funny. But this other reality, which is the reality of the room, it's nothing. Yeah. Crickets. So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have is a small earpiece in your ear where you could hear 3 people laugh.
Right.
At most. And if they're really laughing, it peaks the whole thing. I've had that in my ear. If everyone's laughing, it's just you hear distortion.
Yeah.
So you're swinging for distortion.
I know.
You're basically being let me try to do something so funny that my earpiece distorts me and hurts my hearing a little bit. That's what it's like to be an impractical joker.
And he's hoping every time he moves his leg or his butt that more people laugh.
Right.
And it's really just shooting in the dark.
Yeah. That bit was phenomenal, and it got me in such a good mood. That's the thing that's beautiful about this bit. We take a break off, and now we have some new episodes, and if that's coming at you, you're I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and there's a very quick Pulp Fiction reference by Sal. If you're wondering what he's talking about, there's a scene with Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction where he's talking about how he's talking to, I think, Bruce Willis's character as a kid.
As a child, yeah. So Bruce Willis leaves his watch on the dresser, and then, his girlfriend forgets to give it to him. Let's just say, that I don't want to give you too much. And then he's like, that was my daddy's watch. And then it goes to the backstory.
If you're wondering what the scene was, that was the scene. Enjoy Pulp Fiction.
Please watch Pulp Fiction. Yeah. It's the best.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so then we got the next bit, which is Should I Quit? This is a Joker versus Joker. Love throwing a Joker versus Joker at you.
And it's one of my favorite moments of the episode, though. When Joe Gatto is talking to this lady, and Q tells him to say, I can't believe this. After 10 years, I think this might be my final day on the job. And she goes,
Yes.
I know.
I just want to let you know it's been a pleasure serving you these past 10 years.
It's been a pleasure serving you for the past 10 years.
This store is not open 10 years.
No, I mean, with the company.
Oh.